Man, mindset is like 90% of it. Like, it's important to transition your mindset because it's everything. Like, you're about to encounter experiences you've never done before. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's scary sometimes, like, because you never experienced it before. It's uncomfortable. And so when you encounter where you gotta raise money you've never raised before, or you acquiring a deal you've never done before, a lot of times people in their mindset say, I can't, but you always need to be thinking, how can I? And so that changes a thought process. Because if you continue your old process, you're gonna continue in that direction. But if you wanna progress to higher levels, you gotta change your system. You gotta change your thought process, and that's changing your mindset. And when you get the mindset, you'll start developing this tool set and skill set that allow you to elevate to higher levels. So, I mean, you always got to be fine-tuning that mindset and surrounding yourself by other people, because it's not really until you see yourself doing it or see someone else doing it that you too develop the mindset. Like, people come up with these ideas, but until they actually see it in their mind or they see someone else do it, they don't never really accomplish it. If I only had a couple of $1,000 and I was just starting off, I'm using that to flip properties. Like, I'm gonna put $1,000, $2,000 down for earnest money, and then I'm gonna go find some buyers and flip the contract. And then you're gonna keep flipping. But in process, on one of them deals, most deals you can flip for $5 to $7 grand easily. But man, we've done deals where we flip for $25,000 or $50,000. But the only challenge with when you flip at $50,000, sometimes you got to be able to close. But that's why you find your buyer. You already know what type of properties, what market they like, you know, like what's their investment range, what's typical returns, what's their skill set and renovations. And once you know that, man, you can put some on the contract and take it right to them. And guess what? If they don't buy it, guess what? You end the contract. Because in the contract, you put a 7, 10, 15, 20-day inspection period. So if I only had a couple of dollars, I'm flipping a couple of properties, man. The way I got started was, man, first I had to fix my credit. And, man, they got so many different things now. But back then, I had to dispute my credit. We didn't have online. I had to mail it in, wait 60 days, then dispute it, then mail it back in, dispute. But now you can literally go online in 30, 45 days. You can have your credit disputed or figure out what you need to pay. So that was the first thing I did, get your credit straight. But then the other thing was try to find people that was willing to do owner financing. Because if your credit's not good, you could go do owner financing. And quite frankly, with somebody doing owner financing, you might be able to put less money down on the deal. But if you got good credit, or if, let's say you don't have good credit, you still can go find a partner and have them sign debt for you. Like, I did that multiple times when I first started. I literally had somebody sign for the debt, and I put the whole deal together, and I gave them $100 more than what the mortgage payment was, and I gave them 2 points on the loan. So for example, $100,000 loan, I think the payment at the time was $800. I paid $900. They got to keep the extra $100, and then I paid them $2,000 at closing. So, you know, those are strategies you can use. But if you got credit on your own, then you can leverage your life insurance policy. If you got some money in 401k, you can borrow from there. Like, there's multiple things that you can do to get started, whether you got limited capital or limited skill set. think my biggest mistake is over leveraging. That was the first big mistake I did when I first started buying properties. I was buying at what the property was owed, what the value of the property was. And so when you get a market shift or something happens to you and you need to sell, you can't. So let's say you get into real estate and you couldn't lease that property out, that unit, or you had a repair, you couldn't raise money to fix it. Well, if you buy that market value, you're gonna have to sell or get the bank to agree to sell at a discount. Versus if you bought at undervalued, like at least 15, 20% undervalued, you can still sell it and profit, regardless of your mistakes. I know so many people just want the idea that they bought a property, which was cool, but your exit strategy, like you stuck with that property until you either pay the principal down or the market changes. The market's gonna change. I know I had a 2-family. Well, I bought that 2-family back in 1999, 2000. Last year, a year later, let's just say 23 years later, it sold for $200,000. Now, do I want to hold on to a property like that long? Probably not. But I'm just sharing with you the value of how over a period of time, regardless of the neighborhood, because that was a D+, C- property. I never saw that. Like, if you looked at me, I was like, I don't never see this getting past $85,000, $90,000. Like, it got up to $200,000. That was crazy to me. Man, what stops people is they're afraid to fail. They comfortable. They don't want to do anything different. They stuck to a job, and what they really need to be focused on is how they can buy their time back. Like they say, time is money, but it is of value, but you're selling it, and you're only selling it for $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour. And so the only way you're going to get real time is if you go out and create wealth. I'm not saying if you make $20, $30 an hour, you can't be successful. You can't, like, you want to use the job to fund your ideas, to fund your dream. Save that money, use that resource and save that money, and then go do your own projects. And even better yet, leverage your credit, because once you fix your credit up, man, there's so many different ways. You get a line of credit or a credit card advance. Like, I financed multiple deals with credit cards. Man, that's how I got started, but the key thing is not over leveraging and paying it back and being disciplined. So, just stop making excuses, because when you make excuses, all you're doing is procrastinating. And I'm guilty of doing some of those things as well, man. Like, you got to push through it. The biggest thing is pushing through, man. And there's joy and hope on the other side. But if you keep staying in this area, like, you're never going to grow. And understand you're going to make a mistake. Like, just get it out. You're going to screw up. But that's the whole point of getting a coach. That's the whole point of having teams, because you can help avoid a lot of those pitfalls so that you can excel to another level. And really, I was listening to Russell Brunson. He always kept saying you won funnel away. I was like, what are you talking about, man? That's crazy. And what he was talking about is literally he went through so many obstacles. Like Russell came out with a potato gun when he first started. He literally taught people how to do a potato gun on the internet, and he sold thousands of dollars. And then he made a business out of it. So then he kept making offers for different things, and he kept making money. But it wasn't until he created the funnel. Like Russell had multiple offers, but it wasn't until he created this click funnel, because typically when people did a funnel, they had to hire a designer, they had to hire a marketing guy, they had to hire this, they had to hire that. Russell was the first guy to put one thing all together and give you templates. And so, he was like, literally, you're just one funnel away. And then literally, most people are always looking for multiple deals, but I saw multiple people and myself just do one deal and it changed their whole life. Like my first 2-family, I started living free. I thought I was rich. Like I didn't have no mortgage payment, right? Like that was a big expense. Then I bought another I bought 2 4-families. That paid my car payment and gave me a monthly allowance. And I still had a job. Like it changed my life. And then I never forget, I flipped something and I made like 400 grand. That was a game changer, man. Like I had room, and then I had my own cash to do my own deals. Like I didn't have to go borrow money. So literally, you get one big deal, you good. Like you can net $1 million from one deal. I've done it, and we've done it multiple times. So when I say you one big deal away, literally one deal could make you a millionaire, and your life will change forever.